So Officer Parham, or Detective Parham, gave him his keys, and he took me out of the handcuffs. Then me and Officer Jason were talking, basically about the situation. And I said, well, why am I in handcuffs? And, of course, he didn't arrest me, but he was saying, I could have arrested you or taken you to jail for battery. He said, because you pushed me. And I said, sir, I didn't push you. I said, I had a child in my arms. Why or who in their right mind would push an officer with a baby in their arm knowing the consequences of what could happen?
How old is your son?
My son is 14 months. He's an infant.
Okay.
So he says, and he starts poking me in my chest, pushing me with his two fingers in my chest, saying, this is battery. If you walk up to anybody in the street and you push them like this, and he, pushed me in my chest, he said, you can go to jail. He said, this is battery. So I'm saying, okay. I was like, even though, I know I didn't push you, and I said, respect, I'm giving you respect as an officer. I know I did not put my hands on you, so I'm concerning why am I in handcuffs, or why did y'all put me in handcuffs? So then, Detective Parham said, I guess he just, buddy in the room, we were talking, and was like, I don't know why we're sitting here talking to him. Let's just take his ass to jail. And he was like, no. He was like, we're talking, so me and him kept talking, and then he was like, all right, man, just, go on to the house or whatever, and whatever he said after that. So I started walking to the door where my family was, so we can, leave and get in the car. And, Officer Jason followed and asked the manager who was there, or she asked him what was going on. So he started explaining to her what was going on, and then was saying, basically, he's leaving. And she was like, okay, and everybody was with her, including the girl who, had the phone, was saying, well, that's not fair for us to have to leave, and the people in there get to stay when, they were being rude, because their comments to the girl were, you need to get out of here with that phone. I mean, they didn't ask her politely to put the phone up. I walked in as soon as it was happening. So she, was basically yelling at the girl who we were with. And mind you, we're all over 21 years old. So she was telling her to get out of the movie theater, get out of the movie theater. Take that outside, just yelling in the movie theater. So then he was like, okay, Elaine, what do you want me to do with those people? And she said, well, I feel like, they disturbed the movie just as well as, whatever was happening with these guys. So I feel like they should have to leave too. So the officer said, okay. He walked inside as if he was going to tell them to leave. We weren't in there, but I had other people that I knew who were in there, and they said they brought the people out, and then less than a few minutes, they sent them back in. And then Elaine, the manager, she went back in. They went to get something to drink, and the officer, she was asking them, I guess, I don't know, a question about where the other people were or something like that, and the officer Parham, or Detective Parham, my wife said, he went off into this Ramsey saying he still has 2 years in the jail for this matter. He said he can charge me for destruction of justice for having a baby in my arm while he was trying to arrest me. I guess basically trying to make up, excuses on, I guess, how he can get out of this situation. Because I did tell him, that I was going to get my uncle involved, with this.
Where does your uncle work? Does he work for the same agency?
My uncle actually works he's a sergeant for MARTA Police.
Okay. Excuse me. And that's a different agency than the one you were talking about, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the officer who was involved in this incident, well, actually, let me finish this. Did they ultimately let you go, or do they still have more to say to you?
They let me go.
Okay. Well, let's start here. Give me the name of the police department. I want to make sure I'm spelling it correctly.
The police department?
Yeah.
It is Hiram, Hiram, Hiram Police Department, and that's in Paulding County, Georgia.
It's in where?
Paulding County, Georgia, or Hiram, Georgia.
Okay. Paulding County or Hiram. Okay. In Georgia.